Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to do an example of simplifying a fraction that has both positive and negative exponents. So there's multiple ways of doing this, but the person who asked to have help with this, the way their solution started off was by something called moving the 32. So what that is, we can, if we can for a second just focus on this part. We have 32 times a to the 10th times b to the 5th over 243. And this 32, that's just 32 over 1. This a to the 10th is just a to the 10th over 1. So when we multiply fractions, we just multiply the numerators across and then the denominators across. So I'm just going to leave the a to the 10th outside. I'm not going to include it in the fraction, but what this gives us is a to the 10th and then 32 b to the 5th over 243. So now going back to this, we're going to add in the negative 1/5 power now. So we have a to the 10th times 32 b to the 5th over 243, all to the negative 1/5 power. And let's do some simplification. So 32 and 243. Well, what are those both divisible by? Well, they don't have anything in common, do they? Okay. So instead what we're going to do is we're actually going to exploit one of the exponent rules, and we're going to distribute this power into both of these guys. So now we have a to the 10th to the negative 1/5 times 32 b to the 5th over 243 to the negative 1/5. And when we have a power to a power, we have to multiply the powers. That's how we simplify it. So 10 times negative 1/5 gives us negative 10 over 5, which is negative 2. So we have a to the negative 2 times, and then when we're dealing with distributing an exponent into a fraction, we just distribute it to the top and to the bottom. And when we distribute to the top, we distribute it to both terms, so to the 32 and to the b to the 5th. So times 32 to the negative 1/5 times b to the 5th to the negative 1/5 all over 243 to the negative 1/5. And let's see where that gets us. What is a negative power? A negative power just means reciprocal. So once we take the reciprocal, we just use the positive version of that power. So this a to the negative 2 becomes 1 over a to the positive 2. This 32 to the negative 1/5, well, the 1/5 power just means the 5th root. So what number multiplied by itself 5 times gives you 32? That answer is 2. So but since we have a negative here, it's going to be 1 over 2. This becomes 5 times negative 1/5 becomes negative 1. So b to the negative 1. And we take the reciprocal, so that becomes 1 over b. And then here we have 243 to the negative 1/5. Now the 5th root of 243 is 3. And since it's negative, we have to take the reciprocal. Now, since it's on the denominator right now, when we take the reciprocal, it goes on the numerator. So it's actually going to become 3 over 1. So now, what's our final answer? Well, that just becomes 3 over 2a squared b. I hope that helped, and as always, happy studying.